The hardest addiction, hands down, in my opinion, has to be YouTube. I can't lie, these last couple months, I've seriously gotten addicted to my phone. And it's not like social media or anything, but more specifically, it's been kind of YouTube. I don't know what it is, but whenever I had free time, there would always be a YouTube video playing in the back. You know, if I'm going somewhere or I'm, washing the dishes, or I'm at the gym, or I'm on the treadmill, I'm doing a little run, or I'm even brushing my teeth, I have a YouTube video on the side playing, just me peeking over, and I realize having a problem. I'm having a serious problem. And I'll be frank with you guys, I just want to cut down my screen time. Right now, it's already pretty bad. I've been averaging around 5 to 6 hours a day, and that's not good. That's really bad. You add that time up and it's like, holy crap, that's a frick ton of your life that you're losing just being on your phone. And it's also, you just never imagine yourself when you're a kid thinking, wow, I'm gonna grow up and do this. Instead, in reality, you're just on your phone most of the time. So it was like a weird existential thing that I started thinking in my head, like, I'm spending so much of my life on my phone that I'm pretty sure a version of me, whichever version of me, the one I'd say is probably at the peak performance of humanity, if I had to imagine what my peak performance as a human would look like, that version of me would really not like the fact that I'm on my phone all the time. But this is harder to said than done, I'll be honest. These algorithms YouTube and just most of these social media companies have built are insane. They spent billions of dollars trying to figure out how to give you the most amount of dopamine in order to keep you hooked and on their platform. Being aware of this, like the genius I am, it doesn't take much figuring out to do, honestly, but being aware of this, I realized I needed a plan. And my plan was, honestly, just start using any other app other than YouTube, which sounds so like counterproductive, because if your goal is reduce your screen time, but let's just go substitute YouTube for Spotify, it's like, how is that better? But here's the trick, all right? So the way I think about it is YouTube is bad because it's like a lottery of just random videos of creators you might know, you might not know, and you don't know what type of dopamine hit you're gonna get. The goal is to keep you scrolling, so eventually you'll find your next dopamine hit. It could be good, it could be bad. It just needs to invoke some sort of emotion out of you. With Spotify, at least, if you have your own music playlist, you know what to expect every single time. And also, it's audio. It's not visual. Now, as a dude, I'll be honest, I think most dudes would agree we're all visual learners, if you know what I mean. But oh, that was corny, I'm sorry. But just as a dude in general, or just a dude with a dopamine addicted fried brain, because I realized I had that, I need to at least cut this out in a way where I can still get some sort of a dopamine hit, but it's just not as severe. And this whole thing about dopamine too, it's just like a really, really fascinating thing where it's like your brain's natural mechanism of rewarding you. And these trillion-dollar tech companies have figured out a way to give you that type of dopamine constantly on your phone to keep you hooked. Whereas in reality, if you really try to optimize your dopamine, you'd want to make it so that you get the most amount of pleasure and dopamine out of doing hard things in your life. Whether it be reading a book, going to the gym, going on a walk. Things that in the immediate are actually kind of painful and hard and stressful, but after you do complete certain said tasks, whether it be like a goal of going to the gym or finishing up a degree, these variable timelines. But these things that are generally a lot harder to do, you want to optimize your dopamine in a way that you actually choose to do the harder things, because those dopamine hits are better than or on par with the type of dopamine hit you would get scrolling Instagram Reels. So like I was saying though, the best way for me to cut back on this thing that is YouTube and the YouTube algorithm that kept me hooked for so long was to simply switch to Spotify and just start listening to music. And music, at least, it's something that's audio, so you can still do other things while you're listening to music for the most part. I know there's times where it's like I need to even turn off the music to focus, When I'm writing a script for a video or I'm just thinking about certain things in broader senses, I just really need that quietness. That's when I completely turn it off, and I have the willpower to do it now, thankfully, so that's been nice. But with the Spotify thing, it's just, what you're getting every single time. If you have a playlist of music, I usually just have one big playlist throughout the year. I just add everything to it, whether it be rock, metal, rap, whatever I'm listening to at the time. I just add it into one big playlist. And then I just hit shuffle, and I know every single time what I'm getting. And it's to the point now where I could technically just do my daily routines without even needing the Spotify thing, but I'm like, you know what? I want to get a cool Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year, so I'm going to actually try to bump up my numbers on Spotify. So I'm trying to actually optimize my Spotify Wrapped dopamine a bit more than I should be, but that's where we're at. But I just noticed it was such a better way of getting off of this YouTube thing. The YouTube thing was far worse. I could just tell the vibrant colors constantly flashing dopamine in your eyes like all the time. Even this video technically is spiking your cortisol level, or not cortisol, hopefully not your cortisol, but your dopamine levels. If you can, try to limit your YouTube usage just because of how easy it is to get hooked on the scrolling of the algorithm. How easy it is to just constantly fall in this loop of video after video after video. Before you know it, the whole day went by. If you can substitute YouTube for something else that's a bit more productive, like Spotify, you can listen to podcasts or audiobooks. Music is also cool too. With music, it's just background noise, so you can always do other things. With podcasts and audiobooks, I have to use a little bit more of my brain in order to pay attention, so take it how you will with those things. Another one I'll also give you guys is reading the news. Now, this sounds counterintuitive because the news is one of those things where it actually pulls you back into the world, if so to say. But when it comes to reading articles and shit, what I found is it helps you just understand a bit more, but it's just text. So you're not getting this constant bombardment of audio telling you what's happening, these visuals of like this drone strike happening across the world. Like, all these things invoke such a crazy reaction out of you to the point where like you'll just stay hooked, and that's how they get you. When it comes to just reading articles in the news, not only is it just good for your like comprehension, for your reading skills, because I'll be honest, my reading skills, they're not the greatest. Of course I can read and write. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure a younger version of me, surprisingly, would be able to read better because I spent way more time reading when I was in school. And now that I'm not in school anymore, I'm just working, I realize, oh wow, I'm not reading as much, so my comprehension skills have slowed down a little bit. So getting back into reading the news and articles and shit, I got a New York Times subscription. The fuck am I doing with the New York Times subscription? But now that I have that, I'm making use of it. I'm like, you know what, in the mornings, instead of playing a YouTube video, or if I get the urge to do that, either I skip to my Spotify playlist. If that's not enough dopamine, then I switch to my New York Times thing, read a couple articles, catch up on the news, whatever. It's not like I really care about the news or anything, but it's just to like read and understand things and just develop my skills. Now, and of course, lastly, the books. All right, if you can pick up a book, pick up a book. It's just better for you. Anything that can invoke a little bit of dopamine out of you, but it also is in a weird way beneficial, or at least not getting in your way. That's how I think about entertainment as a whole. Oh, another one, I'll be honest, if you do need some visual entertainment, all right, that sounded really weird because you could also take visual entertainment for something else. Anyways, if you need visual entertainment, the best thing in my opinion at this point is anime. Like, as corny and nerdy as that sounds, trust me, it's so much better because it's like YouTube, but it's just, you know for a fact you'll have to pay attention to it, so you're way more focused on it so with YouTube, for instance, right? You can watch a video in the background, but you'll constantly be paying attention in and out, to the point where you're not actually paying attention to the video and you're not paying attention to what you need to be doing. Whereas with anime, you know for a fact you gotta pay attention fully in order to comprehend what's happening. And now, for instance, I watch like shit like Solo Leveling. That's a recent anime I just watched. For that, I had to pay attention like the whole time just to see how the fights were going, because this is a fighting anime, but like, it's like visual candy, but the story was good too. In my opinion, anime just has like better storytelling at this point. Now, you watch a couple good ones like Attack on Titan, Death Note, Naruto. I haven't started One Piece yet, I'll be honest. I am skipping out on the One Piece. But what I'm trying to say is, if you need visual entertainment, let's say you just had a long day and you're like, fuck, I could really just use something to chill and just be in the zone of not caring about the outside world, anime is really good. I will say, stick to an anime if you can. Anything that requires a bit more of an investment for your entertainment. YouTube, you can get some shit constantly bombarded at you and it would make no difference in your real day-to-day world. Whereas with anime, you can at least fully commit to that and just be locked into a whole different universe. That's the thing I love about like TV shows, movies, anime. I used to shit on those things and think it was a waste of time, but I realized what's great about them is you can actually fully plug out of this world when you need to, when you're watching that shit. And the storytelling is way better. The storytelling can honestly invigorate some sort of like new ways of thinking in your brain that you've never had in your life before. That's another thing I've just been admiring more and more about shit like shows and movies and anime and stuff like that. So when you need that like real relaxation and you're actually just down to fully chill for a couple hours, do that. If you're just in the morning getting up and you're the type of person to just scroll Instagram Reels or YouTube right away, switch it out with Spotify if you can. Have just like one playlist that you know what the music is in, so then it's like you can play it and then get to your day and get moving, so you don't end up wasting so much time on your phone. But if you really need some just like dopamine and just you're in that weird phase where you're in between things but you have a little bit of time, read a little article. I'd say that's probably the best way to go about it. Anything that where it's not just constant visual blasting of eye candy that has no real meaning at all. Either fully commit to whatever it is you're doing or take a little half break by reading an article or something, or just listen to music in the background if you can. And if you really need that full like unplugging, anime. That's probably the best thing I can say. Also, just since I did finish watching Solo Leveling, I can't wait for the next season. This shit is gas. Solo Leveling is fucking gas. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was all over the place, really quirky, just me rambling at this point, but hey, it's something. It's just something on my mind, and I'm here to yap. All right, this is my channel, so I'm gonna yap. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. You guys take care. Peace.